Well, if Donald Trump was hoping to build bridges with the National Association of Black journalists, it backfired spectacularly. He began by labelling one of the journalists conducting the Q&A as nasty and hostile, but there were audible gasps from the audience when he began to question the racial identity of his opponent in the election, Vice President Kamala Harris. Now, Kamala Harris hopes to become the first female president of the United States. She describes herself as African American and South Asian Indian American, but Donald Trump appeared to suggest that at some point she had changed how she identifies, using the rather odd phrase, she happened to turn black. Let's listen to what he said.
I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much, and she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always identified as a black woman.
I respect
she went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't.
Wow, 不错呀。
Sources close to Kamala Harris's campaign described the remarks as unhinged and said they were proof Donald Trump couldn't unite America and an absolute disaster for him. The White House instantly condemned them as impulsive and insulting and said it was important to remember that Kamala Harris is Vice President of the United States and as such is entitled to respect. Now, during that combative Q&A session, Donald Trump also faced questions about his choice of running mate, J.D. Vance, who's been in the news for all the wrong reasons, and rather oddly said that the choice of VP on the ticket doesn't really have an impact historically, doesn't really matter. But it was his decision to question the racial identity of the vice president, much like he once questioned Barack Obama's entitlement to run for the highest office in the United States, that will draw the headlines across the United States this evening.
Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well, I can say no, I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much, and she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe that
I think somebody should look into that too when you ask continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
It's a direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, as some Republicans
really don't
have said?
know. I mean, I really don't know. Could be.
Why come here? What is your message today?
My message is to stop people from invading our country that are taking, frankly, a lot of problems with it. But one of the big problems, and a lot of the journalists in this room I know and I have great respect for, a lot of the journalists in this room are black. I will tell you that coming from the border are millions and millions of people that happen to be taking black jobs. You had the best.
What exactly is a black job, sir?
A black job is anybody that has a job. That's what it is. Anybody that has a job.
All right.
And
Mr.
they're taking the employment away from black people.
He says of Kamala Harris, the vice president, she was always of Indian heritage and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, he said, and now she wants to be known as black. So I didn't know, is she Indian or is she black?
Wow.
She has always, this is unclear, I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't because she was Indian all the way and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she went black. Your response to those comments?
He is a candidate, so I'm going to be super careful.
Wait,
no, hold on, okay. Hold on. I have more to say. I certainly have more to say. As a person of color, as a black woman who is in this position that is standing before you at this podium behind this lectern, what he just said, what you just read out to me, is repulsive, it's insulting, and You know, no one has any right to tell someone who they are, how they identify. That is no one's right. It is someone's own decisions. It is, I'll add this. Only she can speak to her experience. Only she can speak to what it's like. She's the only person that can do that. And I think it's insulting for anybody. It doesn't matter if it's a former leader, a former president. It is insulting. And we have to put, she is the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris. We have to put some respect on her name.